Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to Terra Special. In this video tutorial, we are going to see how to create heat maps like this using QGIS. So you can visualize the heat map. You can see. So this is the heat map for global landslide locations. So using landslide locations, I had prepared a heat map like this. So you can see the high intensity zones where the landslides are very frequent. And followed by that you can see some regions where the landslide are not that much. So if you zoom into any particular location, you can see the intensity of the landslides. So if I try to zoom in, if you zoom in, you can see much more detailed about the landslide intensity region wise. So basically I have just used this data, NASA data, point locations of the landslide locations. Using that I have created the heat map like this. So let us have a quick view about what is a heat map. In QGIS, a heat map is a type of visual representation that shows the density or intensity of point features like location of events like landslide events, objects or occurrence, maybe occurrence of cyclones over an area, just for example. It is also known as kernel density estimation, KDE, or density mapping. Heat maps are most commonly used in visualization, crime data, traffic incidents, and disease outbreaks. So what is a heat map? A heat map displays point data as a smooth colored raster layer, as you can see here, smooth colored raster layer. So based on our color scheme, the hot regions are can be a darker region, area that represents higher concentration of the points, maybe a higher intensity of landslide, cyclone occurrence or crime occurrence, like that. And you can see cool, so light colors might be showing a lower concentration or none at all. So if the points are close together or concentrated in a specific areas, heat map will be intense, or it is also called as hotspot. So where the points are very clustered, you can see hotspots, intense. So like this you can see here, this is an example, intense region. So these hotspots are based on our color selections. So this is useful to identify area with high activity like crime clusters, popular tourist spots, or disease outbreak zones. If the points are more spread out or evenly across the map, the heat map is more evenly distributed without no strong hotspots. As you can see the examples of this region, the outer regions where the intensity is very low or no occurrence is there. So this kind of maps appears more smooth or flat with a gradual changes, shows a general pattern rather than a clear hotspot, good for regional distribution analysis. So to summarize, if points are closest, their influence overlap more, higher intensity. If spread out or less overlap, lower intensity overall. Okay. So the purpose of heat map to identify the patterns, hotspot or area of interest such as accident prone areas, crime hotspot, disease outbreak clusters, high foot traffic zones in urban planning. You can see an example over here. If you have 500 points location of landslide incidents in a city, a heat map will be show areas with high landslide incident density, helping the disaster management departments to allocate the resource effectively, as you can see in this case. So now let us look into how to prepare these maps, heat maps in QGIS. So let me remove the previous data and let me remove the base map. So you can have the visualization. This is the global landslide data set, and you can see how the points are spread. So if you take the at the global scenario, the landslide is not present everywhere. You can see it is spread out in some regions, and in some regions you can see you can see its high intensity, very closely location are there. Landslide locations are very closely, as you can see in the Himalayan regions, they are very closely happening. So many landslides has been happening in this region. that has been represented in the points. So points represents the location of the landslide, right? So using these points we are going to prepare the heat map. So right click on this points and move on to properties, and you can see, please select symbology. Inside symbology you can find heat map. So click on heat map, and first thing you will be noticing is the color ramp. You can choose the color ramp which you are interested in. So in this case I'm going to choose turbo. If you want, you can go for many color schemes are available, you can choose accordingly. Or if you want some more, you can use this option, edit color ramp. You can add your colors, you can customize the colors using this option, or you can use create a new color ramp. Here you can choose CPT city, click on OK. Inside this you can find tons of color ramps which are available. You can choose it accordingly. So in this case, first I am going to choose the color ramp turbo. I am using the color ramp turbo. After that you can see the radius. So for example, first let me select points. So you can see that there are a lot of points available. So and you can specify the radius for each point. So you can specify the not each point, generally you can specify the radius point for the available points. So for example, if you take a landslide, if a landslide occurs, what is the impact radius, that you can put it here, right? So for example, let me give 15, and if I click apply, you'll be seeing the difference over here. So like this you can see. You can also choose some other options are also available. You can choose based on pixels or millimeters or meters. You can choose meters at scale, right? And you can give the units in meters. So based on that your output will be available. So for example, if I give 100 meters, you can see the results will be based on that. So if your areas are quite smaller, you can use 100 meters. Otherwise, at a global scale, you can go for 1000 meters or 10,000 meters. Based on that your result will be there. So if you just zoom in, you can find it. Like this also you can give, or you can use map units. So if you are using map units, please keep it in a projected coordinate system so that you can assign it in meters or in correct map units. If it is in degrees, it won't be correct. Okay, so now let me switch back to points, and let me switch it back to 25, and let us see how it looks like. So you can just see how it is looking like. If you zoom in, you can see much more, you'll be seeing much more intense locations where the landslide is occurring, or any hotspots like crimes or cyclonic events or disease outbreak that can be mapped using this. You can identify the prime spots using this technique. One more important thing, so when you are creating the heat map like this, you can also you can also use fields for giving weights for the points. For example, you can see weight points by. So for example, in this case I am having some data, for example number of people injured or number of people dead in this. So I'm going to use this field where I'll be having the number of people injured for each landslide events with the locations. These data sets are available. If you are interested in that, I'll be showing you how to download that. So here in this case I'm going to use this attribute table called as injuries, and now click OK. So now the heat map will be generated based on the most injured region. So you can see here these and all places you can find more injuries has happened. So if you just zoom in, you can see in this regions the number of people injured are very high. So based on that also you can prepare the heat maps. I can also open and show you the attribute table. So for here you can see for each landslide you can see the number of deaths, injuries and all, it's available. If I sort it, you can see number of injuries based on this location, each location the details has been given, number of people injured or dead. So like that also you can prepare heat maps based on the attribute table. So you can also add base map like what I have added. So simply you can do it. First is we are going to reduce the transparency of this layer, right? So let me keep it to 60. So basically it will be in 100. So just shrink it to 60, apply, click OK. After that you can add base map. So I am using HCMJAS plugin. From there I am using the OSM ESRI's OSM blueprint. You can easily install HCMJAS plugin from this plugins option. So you can see here. Let us bring that. So you can see here how I have done it. If you want, you can remove the labels also, right? Simply you can do it. Right click. You can unselect the show labels. Automatically the labels will be removed. So like this you can prepare the maps. If you want it to be more intense, you can increase the units from here. So currently I have given 25. You can increase it to 45. Intensity will be more, right? So this is for a larger area. So you can do it for a smaller area. You have to set the map scale accordingly. Maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, based on your size of the study area. So I hope that this video will be useful for your analysis or visualization of your data sets in a better way, or for preparing maps. So if you find this video helpful, please do give a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching Terra Special. Goodbye everyone.